You must be sure that he can make something even better.
100 pair of headphones. I've seen 1,000 phones. How are you going to stand out in that market? Like, what is left?
Nothing's product ecosystem will be different and open.
Maybe we should do a phone.
I understand that it's crunch time over there.
We can't cave in.
Oh, we've got some stuff. Where do you want to set up? We're renovating our kitchen and the whole apartment in time for hopefully in time for the baby.
How's the renovation been?
It's been pretty smooth. There's, we have fired like 3 contractors so far. It's been a lot of changes in the last 3 years. I would say, yeah, it kind of feels like turning from a kid to like a man-child. A big new place to take care of, have a baby on the way. Just in 3 weeks, we expect our first. So if you would have asked me if this whole opportunity with nothing would have come along, it was not on my radar at all. You can do surprisingly much with, with this setup. We have been cooking pizza, carbonara. Okay, it's very basic. You get weird cravings when you're pregnant. So we have like Oreos, Reese's Puffs, Nesquik. Come on, let's go.
100%. You guys are, what, 3 weeks out now? Are you getting a bit nervy, or does it feel like it's already happened?
Super nervy. I'm just so excited to also revert back to childhood and relive it again together. It's so exciting. We don't know. Everyone thinks it's a boy though. And I really hope, actually I really hoped it was a girl. But at the same time I know that if it was a boy, he would be so close to me. So, that's nice. Either way we're happy. I have to go. See you later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Feel like a bloody taxi driver now, don't I? Where we go? Mayfair, is it? Yeah, all right. £5.
It's a busy day ahead, right?
Yeah, I think so. Got a bunch of packaging stuff. Let's see what China's up to. Okay, bud. Let's do it. Good morning. Hey. Yep. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey. Hey. Did Marilou welcome you well? Athena? Athenula? We didn't sleep too well with the little one waking up. I grew up here in Marseille. I spent from 8 till 15th here. I met Marilou the first time when I was in Marseille. We met, you were, t'as quel âge? 13 ans. She was 13, I was 12. Athena was born last August. And yeah, now preparing for the London move. Look, Daddy makes her smile. Dis bonjour à la caméra? Yeah, kid. Married last year. Yeah, man, it's gone fast. And then Marilou as well. Got promoted recently. Bossing a super mom, super lawyer, super wife. TBD, yeah? Yeah, and then nothing already 1.5 years. But now we're ready to move to London. It's keeping us busy. But it's good. feeling alive. A lot of things happening.
Actually, so Uber's here in 5.
Laptop charger. Mon cœur? Ma carte WeWork? 62.
Accessibility options. Use the tab key to navigate and
Talk.
press.
Man, the level of shit I've got in here. Alright, let's go. Bisous, mon cœur. Mon Rakimon.
Au revoir, papa. Au revoir, papa.
Fuck. What the fuck? Can you share location? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be tight, huh? Sets the pace for the week. You good? Right now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So, yeah, wow, team is growing. Today we have actually like 3 new joiners. Much welcome. There is a lot to be done in the coming couple months. The pre-launch of Phone 1. In 4 weeks' time, we announcing the keynote date, and then there is a few activities happening until the keynote. So I think, yeah, super exciting.
So yeah, we've got new starters, Liv and Lewis.
A quick update on, well, the priority is obviously to get the Kibi through the line. So
I'd like to first agree on creative direction, get it signed off by Carl.
But basically the connection from the kind of main motherboard to the bottom one, the more straight they are, the faster it is.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow.
Nice one, guys.
See you later.
How much time do you have?
15 minutes. Then I need to fly to Stockholm. I mean, it's Carl's home, so it's really nice that the media are super engaged and they want to hear more about him and his journey. Also be going to New York. The team's probably going to be flying all over Europe. We're going to be bringing loads of people to London for the event, so there's that whole coordination side of things that we never had to deal with the Year 1 launch. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm worried about things like leaks, you know? Like you put all your heart and energy and resources into a project, and then if there's a leak, it all goes out the window. So you have to think about like, what would be plan B in that situation? Could we leverage that in a way that like still keeps us on track with the plans? But hopefully we have none of that. But at the end of the day, like I like to say, it's PR, not ER. So we just have to remember that.
Whew. We're under a month away now, basically, and there's still quite a lot to do. So we've blocked a venue, which is great. We have timings, we have a date. We're working through creative ideation. So the original concept or idea that we had might not be the one that we go with. So we're changing how we reveal the phone. And for it, we need to confirm how many phones we have, and that number keeps changing slightly. So we're speaking to StockX about being involved in the event, since it's the first time anyone is going to physically see the phone. It makes sense for them to be part of it because they're going to be the very first place where you can actually buy the phone. So we're just working out inclusion and content ideas around that. And the guests are celebrities and VIPs, so I need to get onto that. A lot to do in a little time.
Hope it unlocks. With no problems.
Doors open.
Definitely needed twice the amount of bubble wrap that we all did, but such is life. We're in.
How are you feeling about it?
A little bit nervous. Just a tad. There's a lot to do, a lot to sort out, but it'll be fine. Everyone's going to help, and Monday will be here before we know it, and everyone will be settled, and everyone will love it.
You wanna go?
Going up. Going down. Please
Okay, this is the big one to tackle.
People have doubted us. Okay. I've seen the comments, you know, seen people saying,
"Oh, I'm doing this new thing where I only eat 1 meal a day." It feels really good that when your digestive system isn't always working. And also it's really hard to eat a lot of calories in one single meal. It's also a good way of keeping in shape. Today we're moving from our WeWork office in London, which is kind of like a starter office, into another space. It's not a permanent space. We're going to be here for a while, but I think it's a big upgrade to what we had before. This used to be an architecture firm, so I think they already set everything up to be pretty nice. There's not too much rework, too much new build that we have to do. We got to replace this logo with ours. I like this. It's a place where you can put products or put designs and have a discussion with the team.
What's the plan for this room?
It's big enough for a gym, isn't it? Squat rack, treadmill, some barbells, dumbbells. I find it personally that when your body is healthy, your mind can do a lot more as well. I think the bottom floor is already filled. And then top floor, we'll need to see, based on how we plan our business this year, next year. Oh, we have a terrace, or we have 3 terraces, or why London? I mean, there's so many people in London, so there's a ton of talent. So if you're building something in Europe, London is probably the best place.
The washing.
What are you up to, man?
Putting some pictures of. Oh, shit.
Some family photos?
Yeah, friends. So 1.5 years, what have we done? Oh, 1.5 years, that's from the beginning. Damn, we registered the company. We hired more than 300 people. We launched our first product, the Air 1. Went pretty well. Sold more than 530,000 now, which is pretty much unheard of for a startup company in this category. It's been an eventful 1.5 years. I think in the early days, we're more just flailing around, trying different things. The company vision is a lot clearer than before. I think there's always growing pains. Being a startup company, not all the teams are set up. We're still recruiting for a lot of roles, but I think overall, if we have a very clear direction of where we're going, I think most people who join us, they're not really here because they want everything perfect, to be a cog in a big machine. They understand and they're excited about what we're about to do in the market together as a team. Doing what we're trying to do is quite difficult. A few smaller brands have tried over the years. Everybody has failed. The odds are not really in our favor, but then again, our team is a very unique team that hasn't been put together before either. So we'll see. Apple and Samsung, they're great. They're big companies. They make a lot of money. It's great from that perspective, probably a bit boring from a consumer perspective. We just want to make people feel something, you know? It's been super boring. Hopefully we create a product that really sparks some change in the industry. Yeah, it's over here. I mean, just look at this. Most of the time you just have to give it to somebody and they will be like, whoa, what's this? It looks so cool. We've taken a lot of risks. So just really excited to see whether it was worth it or not.
I've started using New Fairy non-bio platinum pods because now Theodore is growing, it's all stains and mess. Fairy platinum pods with extra stain removal even deal with toddler grade dirt, but are just as soft on sensitive skin. It's something that works for all of us. New Fairy non-bio platinum pods always keep out of reach of children.
We're incredibly excited to announce that, surprise, surprise, we will
people have doubted us, and I've seen the comments, you know, seen people say
Phone 1 would be a success.
It's that, but hopefully we'll put those detractors and we'll make them quiet by delivering what we're going to deliver.
You might have followed the whole startup story of this new company founded by Carl Pei.
For this guy to then leave OnePlus and start a new company in the same lane, you must be sure that he can make something even better.
So yeah guys, today we have to do a few quick reviews before the latest OTA. Basically, there are changes in the Glyph's user interface. We basically took out the renders because they're not ready yet. In terms of UI, so we obviously have an operating system that's based on Android. We want to give that extra nothing feel to things, not just on a launcher level, but also on the native apps that we are using. So for example, camera and voice recorder, things like that. There will be more in the future.
When you look at Android, there's like 50 layers of any type of Android. And when you get users that might use a lesser brand, but it's still Android, they might have that experience in mind. So we have got to build up, the expectancy of this is a better OS. This is Android, but it's our Android environment.
All the design decisions we made were all based on reflecting what the brand is all about, cutting down on things that are not necessary. And we took a bit of a gamble there. We decided to try some different things, and there's more things coming.
I think maybe we could give it an option, if the user wants to keep it n-dot, because it's quite quirky. We are going sometimes against everything that we learned before, or places that we worked before that are more strict, more rigid. And here it's like, no, we wanna be slightly different. We are building everything from scratch as well, so we just have more room to do something different.
We're in a sphere where there are so many Android devices out there, they're established brands. We have the advantage of seeing what people have done and what they've done wrong, and we'll build on that.
Well, first we need to set up how many customization options we have, but then we need to do one icon per each of these.
Yeah, in our style.
In the same style, yeah. The two-camera decision has been quite a big talking point around everyone in-house. You don't have a kind of shift away from your main photo, like a default state.
We've made these decisions for a reason. I've seen the specs behind what we've implemented in the phone. When you look at Apple that have like a third camera that's a LiDAR sensor, I mean, who uses LiDAR sensors on a daily basis?
So the thinking here is more provide the best experience possible without needing to, people to adjust all single parameters and all that. It's like single shot out of the box, best in business. If you can do with one what 3 can do, we don't need more than that.
How do I feel about the launch? I feel slightly nervous, yes, because all of us are working very hard to release this. It's something that we put so much of our time and effort that we wanted to succeed, obviously.
How is your work-life balance at the moment?
We did confirm recently that every phone 1 that's sold in India is going to be manufactured locally. So this is super exciting because we are at the Chennai manufacturing unit, which is where phone 1 is being made. It's interesting because what we are seeing here is the making of phone 1 layer by layer. This is the pre-assembly phase where the mid-frame of the smartphone is combined with the display, which is being tested separately right behind this. At the end of this assembly line, the two components get molded together, but for it to truly pass the test, it has to stay glued together for a minimum time of 3 hours. So all these panels that are here are glued for 3 hours. There's a pressure test that's done, and if it gets okay, that's when it moves to the next stage. Otherwise, it's just out of the system. This is the final quality check where she just is checking if the display is glued well with the mid-frame or not. I'm just happy to see a lot of green pass on every screen. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. This is where we
check the front camera, we check the rear camera and the wide camera as well. That's on the back panel of Nothing Phone 1. And currently this says pass, so that's a good sign. So this test was what I was personally most excited about. This is where the Glyph is being tested. So this panel is tested strip by strip. Next up is the gyroscope test. For those who don't know what gyroscope is, that is essentially what enables your phone when you are using navigation or you're playing games. Once all tests are done, the last step is the aging test, where the phone goes through 8 hours of continuous tests, all the tests for one last time before it can get packaged. All phone ones being tested right here. This is super
really
exciting.
Tell people what we're doing. I mean, this will be a pivotal moment.
What I have right here is the Nothing Phone 1 all ready to be shipped out and packed in its final box. Do you want to see it? I'm kidding, I can't show it to you. I can't show it to you just yet. They're going to blur it even if I pull it out of the box. It's interesting for us to be able to see this firsthand and not work in silos, and that's the best part about being a part of Nothing and seeing this, working closely with all teams all over the world. I feel really good. I feel happy. It's been a good, rewarding day. I think we should end it with a nice cup of coffee. You can't come to Chennai and not do coffee. Hi. We'll just get some coffee. My story before Nothing. I was a broadcast journalist. I worked with a business news channel, and I was in the newsroom for close to a decade. I was looking at startups, I was looking at technology. I know how many devices I would have unboxed and done stories and reviews. And there was a time when every new launch was exciting because there was an significant upgrade from the previous version. And that gap just started diminishing to a point that we reached a moment where the industry was so stagnant, so uninspiring. Interestingly, my journey with Nothing, it started with a pursuit for a good story. I realized that the mission that the company had, I aligned with it instantly because that was a problem that I saw firsthand. This was probably the closest that I would come to solving for that problem, and I wanted to be a part of that journey. The stakes are high.
So we started Nothing a little
the
over a year ago
expectations
now.
are high.
We came in and
it's
everyone
challenging,
was bored. It was
but
just
if it wasn't,
iterations. No one was
fun.
doing any genuine innovation.
We've also been
and
working so
with
closely with our community. We've been wanting to build Nothing and all our products with them. We're confident of everything that we've built. We know we gave it our best. We've tried to move the needle. So we just need to see if people are ready for it or not.
Loads of mood boards, different set designs, reiterations, early call times. We're all getting a bit of mosh behind the scenes, I'll be honest, but I think it's probably, low-key, probably a lack of sleep.
In what word has the week been, Jules?
I'm going to do a hyphenated word.
Okay.
Dead inside.
But also because
I've forgotten the code again.
To finally be able to talk about this.
I learned it last week.
Have a look what's happening on set.
Yeah.
And chat to a few people.
Morning. This is going to be a workshop and also a project area.
So you haven't been here very long?
No, like about 3 weeks. We were moving out of WeWork.
How are you feeling about it?
We loaded a van up,
Haven't done too many
but we still hadn't signed the contract for here. Everything was to the wire. I mean, we were running through the WeWork offices with trolleys with our stuff in. Just as the stuff was loaded out onto the pavement, we got the contract signed.
Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good thanks.
Which was exciting.
Pepsi's out, Brazil's in the building.
This is bad.
Nothing updates.
It's been a lot.
So this is the first floor. This is actually the floor that we're living in.
Jessica, let's get your
At the moment, we're just
talk
using
about
these
Carl's
temporary
drip
desks,
today.
which
Are you
work
thumbs
absolutely
up?
fine, but we've ordered
I would have
some
been
desks.
very disappointed if you
There's
just
the
showed
legs
up
over.
dressed like an everyday person. I think he looks way cooler than any other CEO on a keynote.
We learned a lot as well about the company, the mission, the vision.
What about your takings?
You've been talking to everyone, filming everything. Probably no more than me at this stage.
We always hear this kind of sentiment of like, yeah, but you guys have been talking a lot. You haven't been saying or doing a lot.
It's coming.
Yeah.
A few months. Few more months.
And it's
Thanks.
Really well done, man. How you feeling?
Feeling like we should have a drink.
You feeling proud?
I never feel proud.
Never feel proud?
I only feel proud when my sister does something.
That's adorable, man. I love that.
I feel proud of other people.
Maybe you should give yourself the congrats every now and then, man.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Guys, that's a wrap. We're gonna get a gigantic beverage and we'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. You still got time for a chat?
Where are we gonna be?
We're upstairs.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Carl, congrats again. The shoot's complete. How did yesterday go, man?
I think it went well. It's always a bit strange recording a pre-recorded keynote without an audience. Like you don't get the same buzz, the same energy, so you gotta amp up your own energy to try and mimic that situation. That's the strange part.
How do you find this kind of stuff? I remember you speaking before about how, I think it was in a previous Nothing Update, you spoke about, I wish I rehearsed more and things like this. How do you find these things in general?
This time we did rehearse more, so the result is a lot better. So I think we're good on that. Yeah, like I was saying, it's been 2 years since I do a lot of speaking, so I need to. I think there's a lot of people in the world who know how to talk, and there's a lot of.
Thank you.
I think there's a lot of people in the world who know how to talk, and there's a lot of people in the world who know how to do. But there's putting these two together. That's a rare trait.
Guys, a lot can happen in a year, man. It's been a bit of a crazy year. I think you'd agree. So here at Nothing, there's been, 4 office openings, probably like 156 welcome emails to welcome all the new people. I think there's like 6 pets under this roof. Probably had about 20 team buildings. You know what? Let's go get somebody else to do this. I'm kind of boring. Go on, let's get someone else. Can I borrow you for something?
Right now?
Yeah. No laptop. I just need that's for you.
Oh my god, I'm a reporter.
Give you some context. It's a recap of the year.
Which bit am I saying?
So you're here.
At Nothing, there's been 4 office openings.
Maybe to take it up to like a 6.
Okay, but faster as well. Okay. At Nothing, there's been 4 office openings, 156 welcome emails, 6 office pets, 80,000 hours of meetings.
Go for like a 10. We just did a 6.
20 team buildings, 800 gallons of coffee, 100 iterations of the same design, a few burst eardrums, a gazillion Zoom blunders,
Perfect.
a few ear ones,
Amazing.
and 1 launch.
Okay. Julie's in the house.
I feel like I don't ever want to give this mic back.
Okay, so a lot's been happening then. Shout out Julie for that one there. But yeah, let's not take it from just us two. Let's talk to the rest of the gang and see what they're saying.
The best moment is always the launch.
It was crazy, but fun crazy. It was like a family Christmas. Everyone's rushing around, where's the food, where's the toast?
It was like a great vibe because it was like funny, you get that buzz.
At the same moment the keynote was playing, we were still editing.
The team was so invested. It was not even extra miles, it was the extra 1,000 miles.
The sense of ownership is so high.
We feel like this is our baby and we have to grow this baby together.
And people go online and say, this looks amazing, take my money. This makes up for 6 months before I was exhausted.
And see my friends like, oh my God, that's what you're working for.
The bond that I have with the community users, kind of bond that no one sees, that is something I'm super proud of.
I was easily my proudest moment.
What has been,
I think the second
really
thing
want to
is,
go there, right? I was going to
am I proud to share this product with my friends and family? Because when you're thinking about your loved ones and you're making a product for them, you're gonna go the extra mile. You're gonna do the extra all-nighter just to make the product a little bit better. So I think these 2 simple principles are what really guided us when we were developing the Phone 1. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Today, I'm really excited to see whether our instincts were correct. And we're not alone here. It's pretty amazing that we have almost 10,000 people who invested in our company. Not institutions, but regular people who chose to believe in a company who had only made a pair of headphones and with some vague ideas of what the future could be like. Why do we do this? Why do we have so many regular investors investing in our company? Well, I believe, starting a company today is not the same as starting a company 40 years ago. Something called the internet came in between and got invented. I think what the internet really enables is that, first of all, people from all corners of the world can suddenly have access to all the information. So we want to use the internet and we want to leverage that to really connect all the most creative, the smartest people all over the world to build this company together with us. Last month we leaked or we unveiled the design of the Phone 1 ourselves. Why? Because these days it's really hard to keep control of all the leaks, so we thought we might as well do it ourselves. This way at least we can control what kind of images are going out. But the results really blew our mind. The internet there's so much buzz online. We're really grateful for all that positivity. We're following the design reveal. We engraved the first 100 phones from 1 to 100 and auctioned them out on StockX. The first phone went for over $3,000, and in total we raised over $100,000. Isn't that amazing? We're putting this money into a community managed fund, and I'm really looking forward to see what our community chooses to do with the money. All right, it's kind of noisy here, so let's go somewhere else and I'll dive into the details of the Phone 1. This looks like a pretty good place to watch some videos with parrots.
I have very vivid light experiences. Sometimes I went into lights that that are brighter than the sun. And I see patterns in dirt, in trees. And I say, oh boy, this stuff is really, really something else.
Modern smartphone releases have become quite boring. It's usually about specs and features. For us, with the Phone 1, we wanted to bring something fresh to the market. We started off with a modern smartphone as a canvas to build upon, but then we really did something interesting on the back. We call it the Glyph Interface. What does it do? It looks really cool, but what's the function behind it? There's a couple of things. First of all, we've perfectly synced the Glyph lights with our ringtones. Let me show you. That's a Morse code. Do you know what it is for? Our intention is for you to set different ringtones and different corresponding glyph patterns for different people. You'll remember those, and if you're in a meeting or at a dinner and you don't want to always be on your phone, you can flip your phone over. It will turn all your ringtones to silent, and the glyph combinations will tell you who's trying to call you. So it's like a visual dialer or a visual ringtone almost. Another feature we have here is that all the glyphs are next to the functional areas of the phone. So this one is next to the charging port. As you're charging your phone, this becomes like a progress bar to show how much you've charged. The one here in the middle is next to the wireless charging coil, so when you're charging or reverse charging something, this will light up to indicate that it's being in use. The one up here in the upper right corner, it points to the front-facing camera on the front, and there's also one around the dual camera setup here. This is the start, and we're building more features on top of the Glyph interface, and we look forward to work with our community to see where we can go with this. Something else that's really important for us is how it feels in the hand, like the experience of the product, right? Because we're using our smartphone for hours and hours a day. We wanted the experience to be premium. The front and back are Gorilla Glass 5, and the bezels are made up of 100% recycled aluminum. So nowhere where you touch the phone do you have plastic. For us, sustainability has been important ever since the beginning, but it's not something that you should talk a lot about. For us, it's more about taking the actions and stating the facts. So what have we actually done on the product, right? Apart from the mid-frame, that's 100% recycled aluminum, more than 50% of the plastics used in the Phone 1 are bioplastics or recycled plastics, and 100% of the tin used for soldering is also recycled. We're the only ones, as far as we know, in this industry that's doing this. The first reaction I had to the Phone 1 when I first held it in my hand was, wow, this is really light. And when I've been showing this to friends, that's also their first reaction, because in the past year or so, I've been using the iPhone, and the iPhone is really heavy because it comes with a steel frame, whereas the Phone 1 comes with an aluminum frame. So that's the main difference. Another really core part of the experience for a smartphone is the OS. I don't really get why some Android brands would really put a heavy skin on top of Android. It slows everything down, and I like the Android design. I think there's a lot of good default Android apps, so let's not replace them with our own. Instead, let's focus our time and effort on things that, like incremental value that we can add to users. Our vision is a world without barriers between people and technology, and where you can use your smartphone as a hub for your entire digital life. So for us, what's important is that we build connectivity between Nothing OS and other products all around you. So it goes without saying that Nothing OS should work well with our own products. Actually, we only have one product on the market, which is the Ear 1. So in the quick settings of Nothing OS, you're going to have quick setting controls for your Ear 1. You can change the noise cancellation mode, you can connect it, disconnect it, etc. But we want our ecosystem to be more than just Nothing products. So we're also building controls for third-party products. The first one we built is for Tesla. So if you're a Tesla owner, you can connect with your Tesla, turn on the lights, flash the lights to help you find it in a parking lot, or turn on the AC before you enter the car so it's just at the right temperature when you need it. When it comes to software, our approach is that stability and quality is way more important than building a ton of features, because the smartphone is such an essential product. It needs to work all the time. And maybe you're in an emergency and it just has to work, right? It cannot be a product that ever fails. It's also a product we ship to a ton of consumers. It's a mass market product. So for us on the software side, stability, quality, and reliability is way more important than having a ton of flashy features. So that's why when you look at our engineering team and you look at our resources, we place much more resource on testing, quality assurance, bug fixing than new feature development. In fact, last time I checked, we had more than 500 engineers on Jira just closing tickets and fixing bugs. So that's our approach to software. In the past couple of months, a lot of the team have become quite interested in NFTs. So we also built a fun little NFT widget on the home screen of your phone, so you can display your NFT collection, quickly view floor prices, and more. Another super important feature are the cameras. Smartphone cameras are one of the most used features on the smartphone. And the Phone 1 is actually quite controversial, believe it or not. It's only got 2 cameras. You might have seen that a lot of modern smartphones have 3 cameras or 4 cameras. But actually, the amount of cameras is not what makes the photo quality good. In fact, a lot of these brands, they have maybe 1 good camera and they put 3 kind of cheap cameras just to make you believe it's an advanced 4-camera system. But in reality, like after you buy the product and you start using the other 3 cameras and you're not that satisfied with the photo quality, I think that really erodes the trust. Maybe it's good for initial sales, but really erodes trust in the brand for the long run. So for us, we kept it simple, no bullshit. 2 cameras, both are really solid 50 megapixel sensors. The main camera is a Sony IMX766, used in a lot of flagship Android phones today, and we also added OIS and EIS for that additional secondary sensor. We went with an ultra wide, so you can capture more of the scene. It's the Samsung JN1, also a really good sensor, and it has a 114-degree field of view. In fact, instead of telling you all about the technology behind it, the AI and all that stuff, let's just show you, right? And you know, in a lot of these smartphone keynotes, these smartphone brands would hire professional photographers. They would pay them and they would fly to exotic locations, and then they would use Photoshop or other photo editing tools to make the images look really nice. But the problem is, never in 100 years are you going to be able to take those photos if you buy that product. So instead of doing that, we thought, hey, why don't we just give the phone to our community, our friends, have them take some photos in London. Let's upload the photos so you can download them. They're unedited, you can zoom in and you get a real sense of the images that you're going to be able to take with our product. Apart from photos, the modern smartphone is able to take really good videos. So the Phone 1 lets you capture 4K videos. We also built this fun little thing on the back where when you're recording a video, there's a red LED light that's blinking. Pretty cool, huh? By the way, what do you think about the quality of this keynote so far? In fact, it's been taken on the Phone 1. For a smartphone, a display is also super key. I mean, you spend hours and hours every day on your smartphone. I think the AMOLED panel that we're using on the Phone 1 is actually one of the best on the market. It's got HDR10+ certification. It's got 10 bits of color. That means 1 billion colors, so that whenever you're viewing content, it's just so vivid and so lifelike. It's also got a 120 hertz refresh rate and a 240 hertz sampling rate. What does that mean? This, coupled with the software tuning that we've done, means that when you're scrolling through apps, social media feeds, etc., it's all buttery smooth. It's a really pleasant experience. We also did something quite controversial on the screen. We used a flexible OLED display to create a flat design. How does that work? Well, there's this OCD part of us where we wanted the 4 sides of the phone, so the chin, the forehead, the 2 bezels to be exactly the same width. And usually on Android phones, the chin is a bit bigger than the other parts because on OLED displays, there's these connector ribbons that connects the screen to the motherboard that take up the additional space. So by opting for a flexible OLED, we were able to bend it over to the back, the chin part. It's on the back and hidden. And that's how we accomplished the symmetrical bezels. But the problem is this costs almost double. Like a flexible OLED display costs almost double that of a regular OLED display. And again, this is a decision that we can't possibly justify with data. Like if we opt for this display and pay almost double for the screen, are we going to get X amount of better commercial performance on the phone? Don't know. But at the end of the day, we need to create products that we're really proud of, that we like to use ourselves and also are proud to share with our friends and family. And that's just what we did with the display on the Phone 1. Let's talk about performance. Mobile processors have improved a lot over the past couple of years. So with the Phone 1, we didn't want to go for the latest and greatest on paper. Instead, we wanted to choose a really reliable and solid processor. It comes with a Snapdragon 778G+, using the efficient TSMC 6nm process. It balances battery life, reliability, and performance. And on performance, I'm actually playing Diablo Immortal quite often these days, and even on the highest graphic settings, it doesn't lag. In terms of battery, what's important is that it can comfortably last more than a day. So the Phone 1 comes with a 4,500 milliampere battery. It's got 33 watts of wired charging. It takes around 1 hour to fully charge. It's got 15 watts of wireless charging and 5 watts of reverse wireless charging. So that's about it. Let's go get some fresh air. So that's the Nothing Phone 1. It's a really big step forward for us. It's got this unique Glyph interface on the back, but more importantly, it's just a really well-balanced smartphone with everything from the build quality to the performance to the cameras. Oh, and it also comes in black. Prices start at $399, and the first time you're going to be able to try it and buy it for yourself is on the 16th of July at our kiosk in Covent Garden. General release is on the 21st of July, where you're going to be able to buy it on Nothing.tech, as well as across all our partners. We've arrived at our office now. Today we're actually doing a little event where we've invited our friends and community to celebrate the launch of the Phone 1 together with us. Do you want to come?
After some hours, then I was laying in the bed. I came back. You will see things which are transformed. It's a different view, a different experience of our existence.
Wow.
Hello. Welcome. You thought the electric cafe was noisy? Look at this room.
It's humid and hot as well, not just noisy.
It is. We said Phone 1 is coming this summer. We fulfilled both promises. Well, Carl, I don't want to be the one starting off by asking a rudimentary question, but I absolutely must. Day's finally here. How are you feeling?
You know, it feels so unreal. 1.5 years ago, this was all just like words and ideas, and 1.5 years later, it's getting so real. It's finally launching. It's a very emotional day for me.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm really glad that you're keeping it together. We have a lot of people here who are waiting to speak to you. But, you know, I want to recap and throw back to one of the conversations that you and I were having about a week ago, where you said that building a smartphone is super complicated, and we were getting a little candid about the journey so far. And one thing really stuck out for me is when you said that it takes a village.
Yeah, it really does. It's such a complicated product. So we've been so lucky that we've had such great talent from all over the industry join us on this mission together. But do you know who the real unsung hero is? They're the family members.
Yeah.
The Nothing team has been working so hard, and the family members have been so supportive and understanding.
Well, thanks for acknowledging them. And here's a huge shout out to all the team members who couldn't join us in this room, but have our backs and managing the show behind the scenes. Carl, I can see a lot of eyes that kind of tell me that leave him alone so we can speak to him. So go ahead, do that. I'm going to bring people who are tuned in a behind the scenes look, because a lot of times when you watch these events, you always wonder what's going on. And I'm here to bring you a sneak peek. And speaking of that, Carl mentioned right at the beginning that we have a lot of friends and partners. Please welcome Emiliano, Senior Director at Qualcomm for Product Marketing. Emiliano, you've been working so closely with us from the very beginning. You've been an important partner in making this happen. But I don't want to be the one who assumes that everyone knows everything. So let's start off by introducing Qualcomm to the uninitiated. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes. Let me tell you a bit about Qualcomm. So Qualcomm is doing low-power, high-performance solutions to enable a future where everything and everybody is intelligently connected. And you can find our technologies and innovations across many industries, and also in the devices that billions of people use every day.
All right, thanks for that quick tutorial and decoding for us what Qualcomm is. Now, I know that we've worked closely, and I don't know how many people actually know this, but Qualcomm worked with us closely at Nothing, and you specially fine-tuned the chipset for the Phone 1, which is the 778G Plus. It did not have the wireless charging and the reverse charging in the original chipset. Talk to us about that process.
Yes, you are correct. So basically, like Carl mentioned, Phone 1 is based on 778G Plus mobile platform. And we've been working with Team and Nothing to tune it and offer a right balance of performance and power so that people could get the most of it. And you will see it in the phone when you see it later, that is bringing really something new and different to the smartphone industry.
Well, thanks for doing that. And of course, people are going to see the phone. And for those who've tuned in, they're going to see that too. Let me now ask you, and that's probably a question that many of our media friends have. What's next for Nothing and Qualcomm? What are we working on?
So first of all, we're really happy to be here and to be part of Phone 1 launch event today. And really proud to have joined forces with Nothing to develop this product. So what's next? We look forward to see this device in the hands of consumers and can't wait to work with Nothing on the future project.
Guys, I tried, but we didn't get much anyway. One last question, and then I promise I'm going to let you go. When was the last time you stepped out to a partner event without a tie?
Actually, that's a good question. But, happy to be and to fit with this great event.
Thank you. Thanks for matching the vibe. I'm going to leave you to this and enjoy the show. Thanks, Emiliano. All right, guys. Now, if you're wondering where we are, this is the Design Hub. If you remember at the beginning of the year, we told you that we would be building a Design Hub right here in London, and we will be investing in that. Well, that blueprint has come to life. And speaking of design, Tom, can I get you for one quick second? We have Tom with us, who's the head of design. Very familiar. We've seen you in our Nothing series. You've been very, very candid about the making of Phone 1. It's a complicated process, but if I were to ask you, what has been the hardest component for you to work on? What would you say that is?
I mean, actually, I think I would say it's probably the industry, Everywhere you look, you're sort of being piped in one direction. But for some reason, we were crazy enough to wake up one day and sort of think that we wanted to do something very differently. It turns out it's not that easy. But I'm really, really proud of the team that we have assembled, what we've been able to achieve in the last year. I think we have something really, really fun with the Glyph Interface, and I think that's only a starting point for us. It's sort of like a platform that we can build on for a lot of years, so I'm super excited and proud of the team.
Well, thanks, Tom, for sharing that. And speaking of design, I mentioned to you that we have some friends from the media. There are, of course, partners here and some whose actual job is to critique us. And I have with me Jonathan from Wallpaper. Thanks for being here, Jonathan. I just spoke to Tom and he spoke about the Glyph Interface. But I also believe that we told you during an interview exclusively that Phone 1's design was inspired by the New York subway maps. I'm so curious to know that what that entire incident was, and how did you react when you hear that for the first time?
Well, the New York subway map by Milton Friedman's a classic, design classic, very geometric shape, reducing a very complex system down to a very simple system. And I guess that sort of comes across in the design of the glyph at the back here, which I think looks fantastic. It's a very sort of striking thing that you can get used to, and yeah, I've been using it a lot.
All right, thanks for sharing that, and enjoy the show. And I already see that you're on the device. Enjoy your time with Phone 1. And while I was speaking to Jonathan, I just spotted someone I didn't expect here to see. Emmanuel, thank you so much for being with us. For those of you who don't know you, why don't you quickly introduce yourself?
Hey, it's Emmanuel here, huge fan of the brand and an all-round supporter in general.
Well, thanks for saying that. And, we were, of course, expecting the tech lovers and the tech enthusiasts. But it's good to see that folks from other industries as well are interested in the brand, love what we do. What was your reaction when you saw Phone 1 for the first time?
I mean, I was amazed. Firstly, it looks good. And secondly, the fact that the design is a little bit more tailored to tech as opposed to just a design made me feel even more excited.
Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show. Behind me, I do see Gareth. I'm going to talk to you for one quick second. Gareth is the CEO of O2. Gareth, we've of course joined forces in building this product together, and you're someone who knows a lot of our competitors as well, and you know the industry inside out. So let me ask you, when was the last time you saw this level of intrigue for a young brand that's just launching, the second product in the ecosystem and the first smartphone?
I think we're hugely excited as O2 to be involved in the Nothing launch. When you ask in terms of excitement, I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, and it'll be 15 years since I saw anything this exciting or this much interest, when probably the launch of the first smartphone, you might call it, in 2007 to now. I think Carl summed up, he said the smartphone revolution has ended. Well, actually it hasn't. And this is what we're really excited about with Nothing.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And I guess, as we've said to you already, this is just the start of our journey. And speaking of the start of our journey, a partner all the way from India who's joined us. Ajay, thanks for being here with us. You partnered with us at a very early and a pivotal stage for our company. I was, of course, super curious to know that when big brands partnered with us, it's like Flipkart, what made you think that, Nothing is a company that I want to back and I partner with and join forces with?
First of all, congratulations to the Nothing team. I think this is not a launch of a product, it's a launch of a wave, an era. The technology products from today onwards will be very, very, very different. We started our journey almost 2.5 years back when we had our first conversation. One of the things that got Flipkart to where it is today, India is the largest consumer market in the world in terms of second largest for mobile phones. We listen to our customers and we listen to them hard. We go to them again and again. Over the last 3-4 years, there were 3 trends that we picked up, which were completely unmet in the market. The first one, as the technology was becoming more complex, customers were they were literally crying out for simplicity. The second one was, as the price of products was going up, customers were saying, can you democratize premium experiences? The third one was, there's a term technology and then there's lifestyle technology. Consumers are using more and more technology products, and they were literally asking and saying, can your products look beautiful? Can this be a beautiful part of my life instead of just a device to communicate, talk, hear, listen? And when we met Carl and the Nothing team, there was a very natural echo around these 3 pillars. We knew we were onto something, and we knew Carl and team were onto something. I think the launch of first product, Nothing Year 1, further reinforced our belief. We are very, very excited to see the form factor, to experience the product. I'm very sure this product will change the way technology products are created from here on. Excited to be part of this journey.
Well, that makes the 2 of us. I think the same. And, we just spoke about the form factor. We've been talking about the design, and I have to bring Angelisa in because she and her team have been working on the Nothing OS. And we've been saying from the very beginning that we want the hardware and the software to speak the same language. Talk to us about the journey, what the past couple of months looked like for you. I know it's been a long, long road, but we're finally here. The products are out with everyone to check them out. And the OS is something that people have been talking about a lot as to how it's refined the Android experience completely.
Yeah, of course, today we are very proud to launch this product here. It has been very intense, but also enthusiastic journey to see the phone coming alive, design iteration after iteration. And this is not the end, because actually this is the beginning, because now through the mass usage of the phone, we can analyze the user feedback, we can do observation, and this can help us to improve the current experience, and also can be the fertile base to shape the next Nothing OS. And also I want to take this opportunity to thank the community, because we engage a lot with them and the response has been amazing. We did a lot of surveys with them and they respond like a lot of people responded to us in very few times. And so this pushes us to deliver like the best and in our mission to deliver something different and a fresh air in the tech landscape.
Well, Angelisa, this is your moment. So enjoy, and of course you have a lot of people to give you first-hand feedback, and you give me a great segue for someone who I want to speak next with, and that is someone from the community, someone who's backed us not just in spirit, but with your hard-earned money. Meg, welcome to Nothing event, and I just want to know what made you think that, okay, I'm going to invest in this company.
So really happy to be here. I feel like I've always been really curious about Nothing and the fact that we can be part of a community, people who want to change technology in the future, and just, being part of someone who's ready to change the game. So really excited to be here. The phone launch is amazing.
Well, enjoy your time at this show. And guys, I would love to continue this, but there is so much going on that I personally don't want to miss out on this action as well. It's been a long journey, but as we said, this is just the beginning. This is the real start of our journey. And I know I speak on behalf of the entire team. I hope you love the Phone One as much as we do. It's been a long road, and as Carl said, it takes a village. You got a glimpse of that. There are more people upstairs. I'm going to go meet them. What an amazing day this has been. Thanks for making this happen and supporting us from the very beginning. I hope you continue to support us throughout this journey as well. With that, I would like to wrap. Goodbye, and it's time to make tech fun again.
You already know you're going to love it. Cadbury ice cream,